After talking a whole bunch of crap on Tesla in my last video about the Rivian, the tables have turned. A few weeks later, I ended up selling my Rivian and buying a Tesla Model Y. Now, the reason why I made the switch had to do a little bit with Rivian, had a little bit to do with Tesla. I'm gonna break down all the reasons why I made the switch. But before we get into all those reasons, I wanna switch it up and show you what this car could look like with a dope wrap. So we're gonna go see my friend Houston and then get into the details. All right, we're here at Royalty. My boy Houston's not here. Where's he at?
He has left for the day, surprisingly.
I know.
But, you know, he's got to get off early sometime.
Okay, so I got the Model Y. What color do you think I should wrap it?
I would say go fire engine red.
My wife has a red Escalade we already wrapped. I can't copy her. I'm really indifferent on how we wrap it. So I know Houston was like, bro, he's a Model Y hater. He hates Tesla. And I was like, well, just try and make it as cool as you possibly can. He almost refused to wrap it.
Well, if you told him to make it as cool as you can, we definitely have a color for you.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys pick and we'll see what happens. All right, we're back.
Look, I know I missed the first part of this video, but unfortunately I was busy wrapping the car.
Yeah.
Like I had to actually do the work.
Okay, before we look at the wrap stuff, because it looks pretty freaking cool. What do you think of Tesla overall?
Look, honestly, I'm probably the only person that yells at Ryan, okay? So all you guys watching this, I think Ryan buys the dumbest cars ever, okay? And it's confusing to me because like I was supposed to be his friend and it's like he comes in here and I'm trying to inspire him. I set up all this stuff, the Rolls Royces everywhere, Lamborghinis, and he comes up with a Tesla Model Y and I'm just like, gee.
Either way, you made it as cool as it could be.
I did what we could, and honestly, it looks really cool.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a brand new color from Tech called Anti-Social Social Club.
So they're like the clothing brand.
It is. It's actually their specific color that they made. It's a special edition. So they only make like so many hundreds of rolls of this. So you have a very rare color. That's why I thought that it would be the most unique thing to do to a Tesla. Plus, the vibe of color change kind of goes electrification.
Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like it fits. You know, a lot of guys do like mattes and try to make these cars look stealthy, aggressive. It's just,
they're not an aggressive car.
It's just not an aggressive car. So I thought this color change, once you get this into the sun, it's purple and gold and green. All right. So I actually had a color like this before that was an Alex Choi special edition, and it went from like purple to blue. But this being SUV, I thought the darker colors would really fill it in. And honestly, I think I was right. I mean, once you see this in here and you see the greens and the blues, it transitions. It looks pretty spectacular.
Yeah, no, I love it because our mascot, he's a lion named Judah. He's multicolored.
Actually, that's true.
He has everything. So this really matches our vibe as a company. So I love this.
It looks great. I mean, it is still Tesla, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is the best looking Tesla Model Y on the road right now.
For sure. Did you guys fix like the dents? Did you see the scratches?
I saw the scratches. The Tesla doesn't make it easy to get the dents out.
Yeah.
There is a little one on the other side over there.
Yeah.
Is that factory dents?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's your build quality right there. The scratches are removed-ish mostly.
Well, you can't see them anymore. So
we have to polish it because what wrap does is it like sucks onto the paint and the imperfections come out. So if there is scratches, it looks terrible. But factory scratches and dents, you know, I guess. If you bought a Tesla, you knew what you were signing up for.
I knew it. But we made it as cool as possible, bro. Appreciate you, as always. All right, enough of the Tesla hate. Obviously, I didn't buy a car that I don't like as much as I like to make fun of Tesla and poke fun of all the people who just love Tesla with no regard. Obviously, I bought one for a reason. I think it's a great car. You know, I used to have the Model X, which I drove for over a year, and you know, there were pros and cons I had about it. I've done videos on it before, but overall, I think Tesla is a great brand. There's a few reasons why I switched to this and why I sold the Rivian. So, you know, number one, as far as the Rivian goes, you know, I got it, beautiful car, looks great. I even got that one matted out with Houston. And so, you know, it was an amazing car and I had no real gripes about it. But the thing was, the values on them were insane. They were selling for over $100,000 and I got mine for $78,000. Plus, I got a $7,500 tax credit on it. So it was like, why should I keep this car? This car has to be really good for me not to sell this. And the more I drove it, the more I realized it did not handle anything like other SUVs I had because it's just so big. Even though it was really fast and had the 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, it was straight line fast. But driving it was not necessarily fun. And I'm not really an outdoors guy, so I wasn't gonna go off-roading with it and all that stuff. And so, you know, I just looked at it and I was like, you know what? I actually prefer just driving my Porsche, so I don't even know when I would drive this thing, so I'm just gonna sell it. So I had already made it up in my mind. I was gonna take the profit and sell it, and I did do that. But during that time, Tesla ended up making an announcement that they were dropping their prices. They had dropped some of their Plaids by like $20,000. The Model Y had dropped by like $5,000 or $10,000. And to make it even more interesting, my cousin works at Tesla, so he gets full self-driving for free if we buy under him. And so that's what I did. I ended up buying under him, and I got the full self-driving for $15,000 completely for free. And between that and the price cut, I was all into this Tesla for like $58,000. And I'll tell you this, for $58,000 to get all those features, it's a no-brainer. To think Rivians were selling for $110,000, $120,000, and I could get this fully loaded for half the price, I was like, look, I'm just gonna get this. And also, I'm gonna enjoy driving this more because it's smaller and it drives like a car. And at this point, I don't really wanna drive a big SUV. We already have the family Escalade, and so when we got kids and everything in it, I'm just gonna use the Escalade, and I'm okay driving a big car then, but when I'm doing a daily driver, I don't really wanna be doing all that. But the big test with all this is seeing how the full self-driving actually works, because when I was doing it back 2.5 years ago when I had a Model X, it was okay, like it navigated well, but from what I hear now, this thing drives on the actual roads itself now, and you're able to do some crazy stuff. Talking about side roads, stop signs, stop lights, turning left, like, it's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna give this thing a try real quick and see how the navigation system works. All right, so we are now on the autopilot. It is driving me pretty well. Very similar to last time. I'm kind of waiting for it to tell me I gotta put my hands on the wheel. Has not told me that yet, so it's definitely a little less than the Porsche. The Porsche's kind of self-driving thing tells you it really fast. Let's see how it does with changing lanes. It's not driving me yet because I don't have the full self-drive beta, so I'll have to give you guys an update on that. I don't even know why they do beta. Why can't everybody just have it? That seems kind of dumb to me. I see other people doing it. As far as first impressions go, I really love the way that it drives. I mean, it's got pump, you see? Camera guy didn't notice. I think the steering wheel is very tight, handles well. I really enjoy just like the feel of sitting in it. It's very minimalist. The materials seem nice. Definitely nicer than before. I'm curious how the battery power is going to be compared to last time, because before my battery drained really fast. And that was one of the reasons I sold the Model X, because the battery would drain literally, like I had to charge it every 2 days. Whereas with my Porsche Taycan, I charged maybe every 5 days, and it has rated less mileage than my Model X had. But I also had a 2017 Model X, and so it had 3-4 years of use on it. So, you know, I'm curious how a new Model Y is, how the batteries have improved, and whether or not, you know, it was just because the battery degrades over time. I don't know. All right, but now I'm gonna try punching one and see how fast this thing is. Yep. It's definitely fast. I'm glad I got the performance. By the way, the long range and the performance, they don't really cost that much different. So the fact that it's just that much faster and the wheels are better and it just looks sportier, I would totally always get the performance. I don't see any reason to get the long range, especially because the mileage difference isn't much. I tell this to all the people looking at electric cars, like, you're never really supposed to use the charging stations. Like, just charge at home. You're not gonna run out of battery if you just charge at home. The only time you need it is if you're going cross country or something. Like, I can count on one hand how many times I have used chargers here in Las Vegas. I have literally no need to ever use them. So I just think range is kind of overrated, honestly. You know, when I see like Lucid doing range of like 500 miles, I think it's cool, but it's kind of useless. I do think it's cool that you can join a Zoom meeting, because I actually have to attend a Zoom meeting right now. So we're gonna test this out. It looks like I missed the meeting, but it is cool that I could take a Zoom meeting in here, because that probably will happen like it just happened today. The back seat's actually really comfortable. It's minimalist, like I said. I mean, nothing is like fancy about this car, but for $60,000 with all the tech and the electrification, it's a good deal. When you're paying that price, you can't expect premium stuff like I would on a Porsche or something else. And funny enough, as far as space goes with kids, my partner Matt from TrueBooks, our CPA firm, has a Model Y, and he's had it for like over a year, and he has 3 kids that are under 4 years old that sit back here. So he's got 3 car seats, and they fit just fine. I am worried a little bit about the white leather because on my last Model X, I had the white leather, and it started to get the blue stains on it, but I think it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, I picked white because I think it just looks way better, and it's just gonna get dirty. That is what it is. And now that I'm outside of this, Houston's absolutely right. Like, to see it color change is pretty crazy in the sun. Like, to me right now, this is like a teal blue, and then in the dark, it's purple. And then as I just walk around, it just completely changes. Purple, green, blue. It's really cool. I like the colors a lot. And so I'm happy that it's a different looking Model Y. It's not like your everyday one, but overall, happy to be part of Tesla gang. As much as I hate on it, I actually think that for $60,000, it is probably the best value out there right now, especially because I got the full self-driving for free. So if you are looking for a car that's good for a family, super fun to drive, fast, great tech, I think this is probably the one at that price point.